Leo Virgo cuspers, June 2026 feels like one of those months where you can literally feel your life shifting underneath you. Something about this energy feels bigger than the other month, than just another month. Yeah, this feels like the beginning of a brand new chapter. I feel like by the end of June, with Jupiter moving into Leo, some of you are stepping into one of the biggest expansion cycles you've had in years. So stay with me until the end, beautiful souls, because we're diving deep into the astrology, the energy, and then we're going to see what is happening with the cards and the Celtic to see exactly where Spirit is leading you next. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for leaving comments. I really appreciate you and being subscribers here. All right, so Leo Virgo cuspers, this energy coming into June feels emotional, reflective, and honestly very revealing. After everything that happened since May, the full moon in Scorpio, Pluto retrograde, Uranus energy just shaking things up, all these Gemini activations, I feel like many of you realizing you cannot keep shrinking yourself anymore. Something is changing inside you. Now, at the start of June, Mercury moves into Cancer, and I feel like this immediately pulls your focus towards emotions, home, family, healing, and your inner world. Conversations are just going to become much more personal. Memories may resurface. Some of you could reconnect with people from the past, while others are finally understanding why certain situations just happened the way they did. But with Mercury squaring Neptune on June 4th, be careful not to romanticize people who already showed you who they are, all right? So Spirit is saying here, see clearly, not emotionally. And honestly, June feels like a month where your intuition becomes a little bit very loud with the capital letters, you know? And also the last quarter moon in Pisces around the 8th, all right, feels deeply spiritual for you. I feel like many Leo Virgo cuspers are releasing some sort of emotional exhaustion, confusion, old dreams that just no longer fit who you're becoming. It almost feels like your soul is clearing space for something bigger. But yeah, we are moving into one of the luckiest energies of the month, Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer on June 9th. This is beautiful energy for love, emotional healing, support, family blessings, and even financial opportunities connected to something heartful and creativity. Some of you may receive unexpected kindness, emotional clarity, or maybe perhaps it's just going to be support exactly when you need it the most. For others, this could just bring some sort of soulmate energy. It could be like reconciliation, conversations, or simply just feeling emotionally safe again after a long season of instability. But now at the same time, I also do feel like June will be testing your boundaries too. That was a slight birthday confirmation for some. Around the 10th, all right, all the way to the 13th, yes, emotions could be very intense. Mercury is squaring Saturn and Venus squares Chiron, which may bring up some wounds around rejection, abandonment, not feeling chosen, or maybe feeling emotionally misunderstood. Leo Virgo cuspers energy does tend to give so much to others while quietly carrying everything alone, right? For some of you, not all of you. And what Spirit is saying this month is teaching you to stop over functioning for people who are not meeting you halfway. Now, we also have Venus entering Leo around the 13th. And honestly, this changes the energy completely. I feel like here your confidence slowly returns. Your light starts coming back on. People will just notice you move or notice you more. So some of you might be moving, okay? Attraction increases, creativity increases. Some of you may suddenly feel inspired to create, post online, maybe start something new, change your appearance, or finally just put yourself first, you know? And because of Venus is also there activating your Leo side, this could also be giving some sort of main character energy. So what Spirit is saying here, that many of you are stepping back into visibility after maybe hiding emotionally for a little bit. Now, we do have the Gemini new moon around the 15th. So this feels like a Sorry about that. This feels like a major reset mentally and even spiritually. This feels like new conversations, new opportunities, networking, travel ideas, studying content creation, social media growth, or some sort of important news that will be arriving. Okay, so some of you, this new moon feels connected to destiny doors that are opening through communication. And honestly, also in the middle of June, it feels very powerful for work and money too. Mars enters Gemini around the 28th, which is bringing movement, momentum, fresh ideas. I feel many of you are becoming busier very quickly towards the end of the month. Any opportunities that felt delayed might just really suddenly begin moving again. Some of you may maybe be juggling multiple projects, conversations, or choices at once. But what Spirit is also warning is not to burn yourself out trying to prove your worth, all right? Because right before June ends, Mercury goes retrograde right into Cancer on the 29th, alongside the full moon in Capricorn. So I feel like this is going to feel very big for you, because it's going to be like a reality check around career, emotional responsibility, work, life balance, long-term stability. For some Leos, Virgo cuspers, maybe you may rethink a job, living situation, or relationship dynamic, or some sort of future plan entirely. But then the biggest shift here is Jupiter is entering Leo on the 30th. And I feel like this is going to be huge for you, especially with Leo, Virgo cuspers energy, all right? This is going to feel like expansion, visibility, confidence, creativity, leadership, recognition, and just stepping into a completely new timeline over the next year. Honestly, I feel like many of you are re-entering a cycle where Spirit just wants you to be seen, heard, and appreciated for who you truly are. Not for how much you actually sacrifice for others. I feel like this is going to be a month that feels like closing one emotional chapter and then the first spark of a much bigger destiny that is opening. So let's go deeper, beautiful souls, spirit angels, ancestors, all the highest light of good. Let's dive into the Celtic cross spread from the current position or current energy all the way down to the outcome. Spirit angels, ancestors, what would you like to reveal to the Leo, Cancer, or Leo, Virgo cusps for the month ahead? Thank you for hitting that like button, beautiful souls. Two of Cups in your current energy, present situation. I feel like with this Two of Cups in your present situation, the energy is connected to emotional alignment, important connections, healing conversations, soul bonds, partnerships, and heart-centered choices. This does not only feel romantic either. For some of you, this is just totally about finally coming back into alignment with yourself. With all the Cancer energy. And I did talk about, I mentioned Cancer when actually meant to say Leo, Virgo. So Cancer energy is really going to be a significant energy in the month of June for you, especially with Mercury entering Cancer, Venus conjunct Neptune. Emotions are just going to become impossible to ignore. And I feel like the Leo, Virgo cuspers are craving deeper connections now. Not surface level interactions anymore. Like some of you could be meeting someone important, all right, but others are actually repairing trust, strengthening a bond, or realizing who truly supports you emotionally. Now for others, I feel like Spirit is showing reconciliation energy, but only where there is emotional maturity and honesty. And I feel like this is the energy you currently standing in this month as the month opens, and it feels like your heart is trying to guide you somewhere that your mind has been resisting. So let's have a look at the obstacle and the challenge. Very interesting. We do have Leo energy coming out here with the Seven of Wands. The challenge here, it feels like protection mode, right? Guarded energy. You feel maybe a little bit guarded, feeling like you constantly have to defend yourself, your choices, your boundaries, your healing. And honestly, with Mercury retrograde that is approaching at the end of June, plus all the Neptune aspects this month, I feel like some of you are just exhausted from carrying emotional battles that nobody else sees, all right? And I'm hearing here that stop fighting for spaces where you are not truly or fully valued, all right? So perhaps the challenge isn't here to punish you, it's here to transform you. The Seven of Wands is about teaching you of discernment. That's teaching you where your energy deserves to go and where it absolutely does not anymore. 27 could be significant for some of you. It could be a date or it could be an age. Let's have a look at the past energy. The Empress. Wow. This actually feels powerful. It's a powerful chapter that you're moving away from. The Empress tells me that you spent a long time nurturing others, carrying people emotionally, building stability for everyone else, pouring love into situations, hoping they would grow. Some of you may have even been deeply connected to family responsibilities, relationships, motherhood. Some of you, creative projects or emotional caretaking. But what Spirit is showing here is that something about this chapter has become emotionally draining because you were over giving. And with Chiron moving through Taurus and all this healing energy around self-worth, June is helping you understand that nurturing others should never cost your peace. Never should cost you your peace. What Spirit is saying, this is what's fading out. And it feels like the version of you that constantly abandoned yourself to keep others comfortable. Let's have a look at the future. Nice. Three of Pentacles. This is where things are shifting. And also we have that Capricorn full moon later in the month. This is that collaborative energy, productive, stable, growth-orientated, right? Teamwork, support, new opportunities, recognition, networking, learning, building something meaningful with the right people. And this could absolutely be connected to career, business, some of you online work, content creation for some, or maybe just finding people who genuinely understand your vision, your ideas, or yeah, even I feel honestly here, with Jupiter that's entering Leo at the very end of June, this feels like Spirit is actually preparing you for some sort of visibility, preparing you to step into rooms that you once doubted you belonged in. And this is the energy that's beginning to move towards you, and it feels far more aligned than what you've actually been settling for. Let's have a look at intention, goals, and possible outcomes. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Your soul wants stability, real stability, not that temporary happiness, not inconsistent energy, not survival mode. The Ten of Pentacles is like your higher self desires the long-term abundance, the emotional security, legacy, family healing, financial stability, and a future that actually feels peaceful. Some of you are actually manifesting some sort of generational healing here. Others are building towards marriage, hope, ownership, financial freedom. Maybe it's business success for some, or just like, it's the energy of creating a life that finally feels emotionally safe. And yeah, with Venus conjunct Neptune earlier in the month, plus Jupiter entering Leo, this card feels really, really important. The Spirit is showing here that long-term blessings are trying to enter your life, but first, you have to believe that you deserve the consistency, not the chaos. Hidden internal influences, the moon. The unseen emotional layer influencing everything right now is the fear, doubt, anxiety, the overthinking, the uncertainty about what is real, what is imagined. And honestly, I feel like many of you are, intuitively what needs to change. But there's maybe a little bit of fear surrounding the unknown, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of losing people, or fear of stepping into a new version of yourself. The moon card With the Cancer transits tells me that your intuition is actually extremely heightened this month. Your dreams, your gut feelings, the synchronicities, the emotional reactions are trying to guide you. But what Spirit's also asking you is to not let fear speak louder than your intuition. Advice and course of action. Here's your Leo card coming out. More Leo energy coming out. Strength. This is your card. This is your energy. This is Spirit saying, stop doubting your resilience. Strength is not about forcing things anymore. It's the emotional maturity, the calm confidence, the knowing when to walk away, knowing when silence is more powerful than actually reacting, knowing your worth without needing constant validation from others. Venus that's entering Leo plus Jupiter is about to move into Leo at the end of the month. And what Spirit is saying here is that it's you rebuilding your confidence from the inside out. And yeah, we do have your Virgo card out here as well with the 10 of Pentacles. Your Virgo side coming out. So let's dive in here to the outside influences. Okay. 10 of Swords. An ending is happening around you. This could be people leaving, situations that are collapsing, truths coming out, unhealthy dynamics ending, or cycles finally breaking. But so normally the 10 of Swords has that yellow, right, like the sun after the storm, all right, the light after the heaviness. But here's blue. Look at the blue. That's healing energy, all right. But yeah, so there's definitely, this is like a new beginning, all right. There will be healing after this. Some of you, someone around you may be going through maybe their own downfall, okay? So maybe this is somebody else. This is a Gemini Sun card, okay? So perhaps it is somebody else that is just, they're going to go through their own downfall, stress, betrayal, some sort of karmic ending, and Spirit is saying, do not carry what is not yours to fix. Because honestly, some endings this month are necessary and they're clearing space. The collective energy around you feels very heavy, but your reading also keeps showing that this ending is making room for a healthier future, healing future with all that blue. All right, hopes and fears. High Priestess. Deep down, you already know. All right, you already know. But this is the message, okay? That you hope your intuition is right, but you also fear what happens if it is. The High Priestess also tells me that the Leo Virgo cuspers are sensing hidden truths, the emotional shifts, the destiny changes before they fully happen. Your intuition is incredibly sharp this month, but Spirit's also asking you to trust yourself more deeply. Don't ignore that inner voice just because you want the external confirmation first. What you hope for most may also be what you fear the deepest. Because real transformation changes everything. All right, your final card, the outcome. Four of Swords. Healing. We see healing at the end of June. Rest, recovery, mental clarity that will be returning. This does not feel like a failure at all. This feels like the emotional recollaboration, right? The Four of Swords says that Spirit is guiding you into a quieter season internally so that you can prepare for a massive expansion beginning once Jupiter enters Leo. You are not being left behind. You are being repositioned, I hear. If you see fours in the month of June, I'm hearing, that is your synchronicity for the month that you are on the right path. I honestly feel like this whole entire reading feels like Spirit is pulling you out of the emotional survival mode, into preparing you for a much healthier chapter. One where peace matters more than proving yourself. One where alignment matters more than the attachment. Hey, beautiful souls, if this reading resonated, thank you for liking the video, leaving comments on how it resonated, how it brought you clarity, how it helped you in some sort of way, perhaps also dropping that wolf emoji, blue heart emoji, and perhaps sharing maybe what part of your life you feel like it's changing the most right now. I'm hearing this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of a completely new timeline opening for you. And thank you for subscribing, and I'll check you around the next one. Love and light, beautiful.